In tennis, all eyes are on the players, their power, precision, and emotion. But behind every serve and rally, an unseen team keeps the game alive, and those are the ball kids. They are swift, focused, and often go unnoticed, and yet they're the heartbeat of the court. Not only that, these young heroes steal the spotlight through accidents, courage, or moments so unexpected they become tennis legends. In this video, we'll discuss some unexpected ball kid moments that are both interesting and shocking. Rafael Nadal comforts ball kid after striking her. Australian Open 2020. In the second round of the 2020 Australian Open, Rafael Nadal faced Federico Del Bonis in a match that initially appeared routine for the Spanish champion. However, during one of the rallies, Nadal returned a ball with immense force that unexpectedly struck a ball girl standing near the umpire's chair. The impact startled both the player and the spectators. Almost instantly, Nadal dropped his racket and rushed over to check on the girl's condition. He placed a comforting hand on her shoulder, made sure she was unharmed, and then gently kissed her on the cheek as a gesture of apology and reassurance. The young girl, though visibly shaken, smiled as the crowd applauded the sportsman's act of compassion. This incident became one of the defining moments of that year's tournament. It reminded fans that tennis, despite being a high-speed, high-intensity sport, still allows for moments of humanity and empathy. The ball kid, who moments earlier was performing her routine duties quietly, suddenly became the center of global attention. Nadal's reaction showcased his deep respect for everyone involved in the game, from the officials to the children who make professional play possible. His immediate concern transcended competition and revealed a side of sportsmanship that resonated beyond the court. The incident was later discussed widely on social media, with fans and commentators praising Nadal's humility and quick reaction. For the girl, it became an unforgettable memory, while for the world, it served as a reminder that greatness in sport is measured not only by trophies but also by one's grace under unexpected circumstances. This ball kid moment was very touching and surprising, but that's just the start. Stick with us until the end of this video to know about more shocking ball kid moments on the court, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Rafael Nadal makes a ball boy's dream come true at the French Open 2018. During the 2018 French Open, Rafael Nadal once again proved that his dominance on clay was matched only by his kindness off it. After comfortably defeating Richard Gasquet in straight sets on court Philippe Chatrier, Nadal engaged in an act that became one of the tournament's most heartwarming moments. As the crowd applauded his victory, Nadal turned toward a ball boy who had been noticeably attentive throughout the match. With a friendly smile, he invited the youngster to come forward, handed him his racket, and motioned for him to rally a few shots. The crowd erupted in cheers as the boy, visibly nervous yet excited, positioned himself on the baseline opposite Nadal. What followed was a brief but memorable rally, with Nadal lightly returning the boy's serves and volleys to keep the exchange alive. It lasted less than a minute, but the moment went viral almost immediately across tennis communities worldwide. The gesture reflected Nadal's deep appreciation for the young volunteers who dedicate hours of their time to ensure the smooth running of tournaments. For the ball boy, it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, symbolizing his brief elevation from helper to participant. The fans, too, cherished the rare sight of such generosity from one of the sport's greatest figures. The act stood as a reminder that tennis is not solely about fierce competition. It is also about community, connection, and the recognition of those who work quietly behind the scenes. Nadal's impromptu gesture not only highlighted his humility but also captured the essence of what makes sports truly human. Roger Federer thanks the ball kid from the 2011 French Open with a gift. At the 2011 French Open, Roger Federer demonstrated that sportsmanship extends well beyond the boundaries of the court. During the final, one of the netball girls, named Kenza Dell, had written "Allez Roger," which is French for "Go Roger" in the clay while waiting between points. The simple act caught Federer's attention and brought a brief smile to his otherwise focused demeanor. The image circulated in the French press, endearing both the ball girl and Federer to fans. What made the story even more memorable was what happened after the tournament concluded. Federer, known for his grace and appreciation of supporters, sent Kenza a framed autographed shirt from that very final as a gesture of gratitude. The gift arrived with a personal note thanking her for her encouragement and support. For Kenza, it was an extraordinary recognition from one of the greatest players in tennis history, a moment that underscored the human side of professional sports. This small yet profound act highlighted Federer's reputation not just as an elite competitor, but also as a gentleman of the game. It reminded the world that no gesture of support goes unnoticed, even from the youngest or least visible members of a tournament's ecosystem. The story was widely shared, further enhancing Federer's image as a player who values kindness as much as performance. It demonstrated that respect in tennis flows both ways, from fans to players and from players back to those who help make the game possible. Grigor Dimitrov helps an overheated ball girl. Miami 2014. The 2014 Miami Open, held under sweltering Florida heat, became the scene of one of Grigor Dimitrov's most commendable moments of sportsmanship. During his match, temperatures on the court soared close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 degrees Celsius. Amid the intense conditions, a young ball girl stationed at the baseline began to appear visibly faint. As play paused between points, Dimitrov quickly noticed her struggling to stay upright. Without hesitation, he walked over, gently guided her by the arm, and led her to the shaded area beside the court. He stayed by her side until tournament officials and medical staff arrived with water and first aid. Spectators applauded as the Bulgarians' concern shifted from the match to the welfare of the young volunteer. The ball girl, though slightly dehydrated, was soon stabilized and recovered fully. The moment was later captured and circulated widely across sports networks, drawing praise for Dimitrov's quick thinking and empathy. It also shed light on the demanding physical conditions faced by ball kids, who often stand for hours in extreme heat with little room for rest. The Miami Open organizers subsequently reviewed safety measures, ensuring hydration breaks and rotations became more frequent. Dimitrov's act transcended the typical narrative of competition, revealing the compassionate side of athletes who recognize the shared humanity among everyone on the court. His attentiveness stood as a model of player responsibility, reminding the tennis world that true professionalism includes caring for those who make the sport possible. Ball kid loses a shoe mid-match at the US Open 2025. At the 2025 US Open, during a thrilling match between Felix Auger-Aliassime and Billy Harris, an unexpected moment of humor delighted both fans and players. A young ball kid sprinting to retrieve a stray ball during a tense rally lost his shoe midway across the court. Rather than pause or appear embarrassed, he instinctively picked up his shoe mid-stride and continued running with full focus, determined not to disrupt play. The crowd quickly noticed the incident and burst into laughter, their amusement rippling through the stadium. Even Auger-Aliassime, known for his composed demeanor, smiled and applauded the boy's quick recovery once the point ended. Cameras captured the scene, and clips of the incident soon went viral, accompanied by captions celebrating the ball kid's dedication. Though seemingly trivial, the moment encapsulated the spirit of tennis precision, agility, and composure under unexpected circumstances. It also reminded audiences of the intense physical demands placed on these young volunteers. Ball kids must maintain concentration, speed, and awareness at all times, ensuring smooth play while staying out of the player's way. The incident highlighted their professionalism and the pride they take in their duties. In a sport known for its tension and discipline, this lighthearted episode injected warmth and humor, offering a human moment in a high-pressure setting. It demonstrated that even when minor mishaps occur, what matters most is composure, something that young ball kid handled perfectly. A ball kid nonchalantly catches a ball one-handed at the US Open 2025. At another US Open, an unscripted moment of brilliance by a ball kid reminded everyone that athleticism isn't limited to professional players. During a doubles match on Arthur Ashe Stadium, a player's fast serve ricocheted off the net cord and shot toward the sidelines. In a split second, a ball kid stationed near the umpire's chair extended his right hand and caught the incoming ball cleanly with one hand, all without flinching. The catch, which seemed effortless, happened at a pace that stunned even the commentators. The audience erupted in cheers, applauding the composure and reflexes displayed by someone so young. The clip was replayed repeatedly on broadcast and social media, with fans praising the ball kid's reaction time and cool-headedness. The incident underscored the high level of skill and alertness required of ball kids at major tournaments. They must stay poised under pressure, aware of every movement on court, and capable of quick action without hesitation. In this case, the boy's effortless motion not only prevented potential disruption, but also delivered one of the tournament's most replayed highlights. The moment symbolized the discipline and quiet excellence that define the best ball kids. Though rarely in the spotlight, their precision and awareness form an invisible backbone of professional tennis. That single-handed catch was a brief yet brilliant reminder that excellence often goes unnoticed until a moment like this reveals it to the world. Alexander Bublik hands his racket to a ball kid mid-match. Montpellier 2025. During the quarterfinal of the Open Occitanie in Montpellier in January 2025, Alexander Bublik, trailing badly and visibly frustrated, decided to inject some comedy into the moment. After missing yet another serve and shaking his head with disbelief, he suddenly walked over to a nearby ball kid, smiled, and handed over his racket, gesturing for the kid to take a shot. The crowd initially thought it was a joke, but when the ball kid nervously stepped forward, the arena erupted in laughter and applause. For a few seconds, the kid became part of the match, mimicking a serve as the opponent, though amused, stood still and clapped. The umpire, slightly bewildered, allowed the brief exchange before resuming play. This playful yet spontaneous gesture revealed the unpredictable charm of Bublik's personality, but also highlighted something deeper. The invisible line between player and stagehand suddenly blurred in front of thousands. In a sport obsessed with control and precision, Bublik's decision to surrender his racket symbolized the absurd side of competition, where losing your composure can still entertain. It turned a dull, one-sided match into an unforgettable moment that humanized both player and ball kid. The audience's laughter and applause weren't just for the humor, but for witnessing a rare crossover. A glimpse of innocence, humor, and humility amid elite sports intensity. It reminds us that even in a professional arena, sometimes the most memorable plays aren't points scored but moments of shared humanity. Ball kid motion irritates players. Monza Challenger 2025. At the 2025 Monza Challenger, tensions ran unexpectedly high, not because of controversial calls or line disputes, but because of something as minor as a ball kid's movement. During two separate matches, players paused mid-point and complained to the chair umpire about ball kids shifting positions, squatting too early, or making slight motions while retrieving balls. To spectators, it might have seemed trivial, but for players locked in high-stakes rallies, every flicker in peripheral vision can feel like sabotage. One competitor even demanded a formal warning, claiming the movement disrupted their rhythm. The chair umpire, maintaining composure, reminded both sides that the kids are volunteers, not professionals, and that occasional missteps are inevitable. These incidents underscore a hidden truth in tennis. The environment must be as controlled and silent as possible for elite focus. Even a cough, a camera click, or a tiny shuffle from a ball kid can trigger a chain reaction of frustration. For the young volunteers, this is an immense pressure. They're expected to be invisible yet perfectly synchronized, performing a complex choreography between every point. The Monza moments reignited debate over how ball kids are trained. Should they be drilled with the same precision as line judges? Or is human error part of the sport's organic nature? What's clear is that these so-called background figures wield silent influence. When they move at the wrong second, they can alter tempo, concentration, or even outcomes. Ball boy faints during the Italian Open. During one of the intense matches at the Italian Open, a sudden and worrying moment interrupted the graceful rhythm of play when a young ball boy collapsed on court due to heat exhaustion. The incident occurred early in the first-round match between Venus Williams and Coco van de Weeg. The match, played under scorching Rome sunlight, had already pushed both players to their physical limits. But for the ball kids who must stand motionless for long stretches in direct heat, the conditions were even more punishing. As the cameras rolled and the crowd watched in shock, the boy wobbled briefly before fainting near the baseline. Within seconds, play was halted. Both players rushed to check on him, and medical staff quickly arrived with water and ice packs. The atmosphere, moments earlier charged with excitement, turned tense and quiet as everyone's attention focused on the young volunteer. Spectators, players, and officials alike were reminded that behind the seamless flow of professional tennis lies a group of dedicated children who endure long hours, strict discipline, and often harsh weather conditions just to keep the game running smoothly. Thankfully, after receiving first aid, the boy regained consciousness and was escorted off the court to a round of applause from the crowd, a heartfelt show of support. The incident sparked renewed discussions among players and organizers about the welfare of ball kids, emphasizing the need for better protection against extreme heat and dehydration during summer tournaments. It was a brief but powerful reminder that while tennis celebrates athletic endurance and mental toughness, the well-being of every individual on court, from the champion to the unnoticed helper, deserves equal care and attention. Ball boy fainting on the court at Wimbledon 2015. During the 2015 Wimbledon Championships, remembered as one of the hottest tournaments in the event's storied history, a teenage ball boy suddenly collapsed mid-match, overwhelmed by exhaustion and blistering heat. The moment was shocking. Players halted play instantly, medical staff rushed in, and the audience watched in stunned silence as paramedics tended to the young volunteer. Wimbledon, known for its tradition and poise, had rarely seen such an alarming interruption. Later reports revealed that the temperatures that day had soared to record levels, and the ball boy had been on duty for hours with minimal shade or rest. The incident prompted immediate changes in scheduling and ball kid welfare protocols. Shorter rotations, hydration breaks, and shaded resting zones became mandatory. What might have been a brief scare turned into a catalyst for reform. This moment serves as a humbling reminder that tennis, beneath its elegance, can be physically punishing, not only for players but also for those silently supporting them. These kids stand motionless for long stretches, sprint between points, and maintain composure even under duress. The fainting episode became symbolic of how easily the human body can falter under pressure, regardless of role. It drew empathy from around the world and forced organizations to prioritize well-being over ceremony. Sometimes it takes one moment of vulnerability to reshape an entire system. Ball kid interference gives opponent a point. Murray Troicki, French Open. In a tense fourth-round clash at the French Open between Andy Murray and Victor Troicki, an unexpected intruder momentarily stole the spotlight. Not a fan, but a ball boy. As Troicki leapt to smash an overhead, a ball boy instinctively stepped onto the court, thinking the rally had ended. The umpire immediately called a let, and the point was replayed. Troicki, visibly furious, argued that he'd been robbed of a certain winner. The incident caused confusion and debate, with commentators split between sympathy and adherence to the rule. What this episode reveals is the razor-thin balance between order and chaos in elite tennis. Ball kids are trained extensively to read cues, yet split-second misjudgments can upend momentum and ignite tempers. For Murray, it was a brief respite. For Troicki, a bitter injustice. The moment resurfaced discussions about automation and whether technology could one day replace human assistance, a notion most players reject, citing the charm and tradition of human involvement. But beyond rules and outcomes, this was a scene of raw humanity. A child, eager to do their job perfectly, simply acted too soon. The resulting controversy reflected not incompetence, but how fragile perfection is in such high-pressure settings. Even the invisible participants can become unwilling protagonists in the sport's drama, living proof that every role, no matter how small, carries weight in the grand theater of tennis. Ball kid helps up Felix Auger-Aliassime during Shanghai Masters 2025. At the 2025 Shanghai Masters, a heartwarming moment unfolded when Felix Auger-Aliassime, lunging to return a drop shot, lost his footing and fell awkwardly near the net. Before officials or the opponent could react, a ball kid sprinted forward and instinctively offered a hand, helping Felix back to his feet. The crowd burst into applause, not for the rally, but for the spontaneous act of kindness. Cameras zoomed in on the smiling faces of both player and kid, capturing a rare display of empathy that transcended competition. Such moments are precious in professional tennis, a sport built on solitude and self-control. In that small gesture, the entire arena was reminded that mutual respect underpins every serve, volley, and handshake. Felix, visibly touched, patted the kid's shoulder, whispering thanks before resuming play. Later, he publicly praised the ball kid's composure and sportsmanship, calling it the highlight of the match. This episode beautifully reversed the usual hierarchy. The ball kid, typically a silent helper, became a protector. The professional, momentarily vulnerable, became the one being assisted. It's a testament to the human side of the game, where hierarchy dissolves, and everyone shares the same chord of compassion. The story spread widely online, celebrated not for spectacle, but for heart. In a world of fierce competition and ego, it was a quiet reminder that kindness still finds its place between the lines. Players test ball kid reflexes. Federer versus Nadal, Australian Open 2012. In the 2012 Australian Open semi-final between Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal, one of tennis's greatest rivalries, a lighter subplot played out between points. Federer, once a ball boy himself at his home tournament in Basel, decided to test the reflexes of the young attendants. After a point, he fired a soft shot toward the ball kid waiting at the baseline. Without flinching, the kid caught it cleanly, prompting Federer to grin and Nadal to laugh. The crowd responded with applause, appreciating the subtle moment of levity amid an otherwise intense contest. This small act symbolized something deeper: Federer's recognition of his own past and the unsung labor that makes tournaments run smoothly. For ball kids, such moments are tests of reflex, discipline, and nerves. Thousands of eyes are on them, and yet their role demands invisibility. Federer's playful acknowledgement offered validation and a nod of respect from one of the sport's legends. The moment also underlined how precision and composure aren't limited to players. Ball kids must read the rhythm of rallies, anticipate ball direction, and move with exact timing, all under pressure. In many ways, their discipline mirrors that of the athletes they serve. Federer's test turned an ordinary exchange into a symbolic bridge between generations, from the boy who once fetched balls to the champion who now inspires the next. It was an elegant reminder that greatness often begins in the simplest roles. Ball kid in the line of fire. Racket launched near ball kids. Korea Open 2024. At the 2024 Korea Open, Romanian player Jacqueline Christian let frustration get the better of her. After losing a tight point, she hurled her racket toward the ground in anger, but it got dangerously close to a nearby ball kid. The audience gasped, and Christian immediately raised her hand in apology as the umpire issued a code violation for unsportsmanlike conduct. Thankfully, no one was injured, but the incident reignited an uncomfortable truth. Ball kids often stand within striking distance of flying objects, from rackets to serves traveling over 120 miles per hour. The Korea Open moment sparked debate about player behavior and safety boundaries. Should tournaments impose harsher penalties when equipment is thrown near minors? Many fans and commentators believe so. The scene highlighted how, amid emotional highs and lows, players sometimes forget the fragile ecosystem around them, one that includes children just feet away from professional aggression. For the ball kid, who remained remarkably composed, it was a frightening experience turned lesson in resilience. For Christian, it was a humbling reminder of responsibility and restraint. This incident joined a long list of near misses that underline just how precarious the role of a ball kid can be. They're not just runners or retrievers. They are frontline participants in the game's physical and emotional storms. Every match asks them to be brave, alert, and invisible, all at once. From heart-stopping mishaps to spontaneous acts of kindness, these moments prove that ball kids are far more than background helpers. They're an essential part of tennis's living heartbeat. Their presence brings humanity to a sport defined by discipline and precision. Whether it's catching a flying racket, helping up a fallen player, or accidentally changing the course of a match, each story reminds us that even the most professional arenas are still powered by real people, real nerves, and real emotion. In the end, tennis isn't just about who wins the point, it's also about the sudden moments that make us smile, gasp, or remember why we love the game in the first place. If you enjoyed this video into the world of ball kids, don't just scroll away, hit that like button, share this video with your tennis-loving friends, and let us know in the comments which moment surprised you the most. Thanks for watching, and remember, next time you see a ball kid on court, they're not just collecting balls, they're holding the rhythm of the match itself.